Very good morning to all of you, Director sir, Principal sir, Vice Principal sir, Manager sir, and all my dear colleagues. I am Medical HNC Manish Kumar Sinha and leading the session of in-house training, and I have selected Mr. Khurshid Ansari to run the session today. He will explain the topic anger-free schools. He will tell us about many and more things about how to run the school, how to use our capacity to enhance the students. Thank you. Please.
Most prestigious principal sir, manager sir, and our prestigious STMC Mr. Manish Kumar Sinha, and all the respective teachers. A very warm good morning to all of you from the core of my spirit. Today I am feeling very much privileged to have this chance to be a resource person. In today's session, our core topic is anger-free school. And today I am going to discuss about the anger-free schools, how to make a school anger-free. So first and foremost, we would like to discuss about the anger and what is meant for anger. So dear all, anger is an emotion categorized by antagonize somebody or something. Oh dear, we can even say about anger is such an emotion, and it is also one kind of energy that comes inside human beings. And when it comes into us, when a person does not go through you, then it comes us. That is known as anger. So just I would like to define it full. Anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism toward someone or something. You feel has deliberately done you wrong. Anger can be a good thing. It can give you a way to express negative feelings. For example, motivate you to find solutions to problems, but excessive anger can cause problems. Anger is not only harmful, it is also beneficial to human beings. But if a person does not have anger, means he has not passion. So anger and passion both are correlated to each other. So a person must have anger as well as passion. If a person has anger, means he has passion, and if he has passion, means he has anger. So both are correlated. Suppose that I come from a poor family, but I want to move forward. I have set a target that I have to achieve that, and I am unable to achieve, but my struggle is going on. And if I am unable to achieve that, and for that, if I am having anger, means that is a positive anger. So a person must have anger, but it should not be stopped, or it cannot be stopped. It should not be stopped. It should be channelized. If your anger is channelized in a right direction, it is beneficial. But if you don't channelize it, then it can cause you several problems. So anger is mandatory too. And anger, if a person takes anger in a negative way, it can harm you a lot. It can harm you a lot, not only to you, but also others. That is known as angers. That you are showing anger, but other people are becoming the victim of your anger. And other people are affected just for a moment but you are impacted, it may say, for whole life, and that always abstracts into your mind that day I showed lots of anger. So anger on right time is mandatory. If you have to achieve something, and if for that if you have anger, that is right. And if you take it as negative, then it is not good. And anger has been divided into several parts. But just I would like to discuss some part of anger. Just the first one, that is assertive anger. Assertive anger is if you say about the anger, then anger is majorly classified into two categories. First one is a constructive, and second one, that is a destructive. So if you take anger as a constructive, it will be beneficial for you. But if you take it negatively, it is a destructive, and destructive can you harm a lot. So a person should have anger. Just I would have to go through the slide. That anger, the definition of anger, that of each letter there is a meaning. Each letter has a meaning of anger-free school. Anger means a person should have attitude of gratitude. A person must have attitude of gratitude, and not to bad mood when you are in a school or in a college you are teaching to your children. Means you should not have not to bad your mood. Means just first and foremost you have to set up your mind that I have to enter the class smiling faces. Means not to bad your mood. Only then your school can be anger-free as well. And thirdly, go ahead of solution. Go ahead of solution means keep solving your problems with a smiling faces. And further, empathy. If you are in the class and teaching to your children, then empathy means we can say samanubhuti, even we can say that equality. So equality is important in the class, and a teacher should treat all the teachers in an equal manner. Suppose some students are wicked by nature because they come from a rural background, from remote area. So their nature and the behavior are quite different. Their behaviors are similar to that area where they live. But when they come into the school and they face other children and they have different behaviors, so they take much time to model in these children. So, and even there is a important role of a teacher to model the students and to shape the students into the well-mannered students and empathy. So a teacher should always have empathy, and a teacher have to treat all the students in an equal manner. And next one is resilience. A teacher should have resilience. Means we can say that flexibility. Flexibility is important. It's not that in the student in the school, some students or several students are there, but all the students they don't dare ask questions to the teachers. But some of them they are ready to ask questions. So a teacher should have very flexible in the class, and all the answers should be given. Of the students. If students dare ask a question, sir, I want to ask a question, so a teacher should be ready to ask to answer to respond the questions. It's not like that the students are fearing from the teachers that if I ask questions to the teachers, I can be scolded or beaten. So this type of fear should not be there in the students' mind, and this should be shown, and the students should realize the things that if I ask questions or any other out of contested questions, so I want to be beaten or I want to be scolded. So these feelings the students should have. Only then the students can ask several types of the questions, and all the confusions in the students have that can be solved out by the students. So our teachers should be very resilient and flexible in the class. It's very mandatory. And next, anger is done. Now free. First, free means a teacher should free from negative thoughts. A teacher should not have negative thoughts. If you have negative thoughts, means you won't be able to teach the students, and you cannot nurture the students. You cannot shape the students, because a teacher is a shaper. A teacher is a nurturer. So if you are negative, means you cannot give the students a clear or authentic shape. So a teacher should not and never have negative thoughts. And if you go into the class, then you always, some students are very pessimistic, and some students are also optimistic. So first and foremost, a teacher should be optimistic. Means a teacher should be optimistic. Means आशावादी होनी चाहिए. Or some students are also pessimistic. They are pessimistic. I cannot do it. But first and foremost, a teacher should be optimistic. And if you are optimistic, you can make your children optimistic. And if you are pessimistic, your students will be pessimistic. So, teacher should first be optimistic. And there is one more quotation said, a cloud every has a silver linings. Means we can say that आशा में भी निराशा झलकती है. So if you are teaching some students, then you should always hope for the growth of the children and for the development of the children. That and you should have a clear confidence that I can develop these students. Then students will also be satisfied, and also the students will be satisfied. So like that we can make a school anger-free school. And to make anger-free school, first and foremost, 2-3 things come into. First, discipline plays an important role in the anger-free school. And discipline, what is meant by discipline? That doing a work in a proper manner is called a discipline. And if your work is going properly, in a sequence manner, definitely there will be no anger, and there will be a peace zone. If your work is going sequentially, then there is no need of anger. The students are doing their work in a proper manner, and you are doing your work in a proper manner, so there is no place of anger here. So first, a work should be in a proper manner, but for that you will have to set the work in a order. And if your sequence is disordered.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
If our students are doing their work in a proper manner, but in class they are doing some other activities, other activity, that means behind the academic, then there is a chance that the teachers should get angers regarding that student?
No, actually, students, they have right to do. They have right to do other activities. Other activities, it may say like activities, because all the activities are mandatory in a school. Okay, but suppose that I am teaching one topic, and if he is doing out of topic means he is damaging, or he is spending his time, and because means he is doing two things. Means he is unable to pay much attention on the board or my topic, and he is doing the other thing. So whether he won't be capable to that work in a proper manner, and even the chapter will be missing.
Yes.
So at a time, one work is important.
In that situation, is teacher may get angers to that student at a same point if the students are doing other activities?
No. I don't agree with it. That
in spite of 2 warnings, students are not doing the work.
A student should not be given warning. A teacher should make them understand. Should make them understand. Yes, this is not a right place. This is not appropriate place to do it. Okay, you can do it. You have to do it. But this time is not appropriate for this. This time is for a study. Okay, activity has a different place, and that is a different thing. But the first step, we have to focus on academic, thereafter on academic.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, you were asking about the students other activities can do in the class. So, I think other activities, students have right to do other activities, but during the study period, suppose a teacher is going through a lesson, and if students are doing, it may say, out of that, means this is not good. A student, we should make them understand, being a teacher, that this is not the right place, and just you will have time for this, and that time you will do it, no problem. A student should not be warned. Because if you keep on doing a work like that, then a student, they will be habituated that on each work sir used to scold us. So it has become such a
Unfriendly environment.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's not good, and we should never warn them, because that can leave a bad impact on them.
Okay, sir.
So only our responsibility, our onus to only make them understand. And
Fine.
if he retaliates, some students in some cases, some students they can retaliate. Suppose like in the class, sometimes what kind of cases are there? Some students wants to sit their friend in the front bench, but you are insisting him on sitting on the back bench. So he will not be agree with you. So like that, he will retaliate with you. No, I am sitting there. I have selected that place. But a teacher is advising him to sit at the back bench. So in that situation, what can a teacher do? In that situation, we can take that students out of the class, out from the class, and we can make them understand. And if you argue with the students, and if you want them argue with the students, he can retaliate with you, means he will answer you back. And don't lose your temper. If you lose your temper, means he will lose his temper. Yes. So there will be hot talking. So it's better for teachers to take that students out of the class and make him understand. Yes, you are the very senior enough and wise enough students. So you should take the responsibility of the class, and even we had better make him a monitor.
Very
if
nice.
very retaliator students, make him a monitor, that it is your responsibility, your honors to handle all the classes, that how to manage all the classes, and how all the classes will be in a peaceful manner. So it's a teacher's responsibility. In that manner, in this way, we can make our school very peaceful and very joyous. And next,
Thank you, sir. Very nice explanation you have done.
welcome, sir.
And
So, just I would like to discuss that what does psychology say about anger? Psychology, first and foremost, the American Psychology Association states that anger is generated towards a person or thing which one perceives as having wronged them in a way or another. Anger is not always negative. In the previous, I have discussed that anger is always not positive, always not negative. It is sometimes it is positive.
Maybe
and
positive.
it depends upon human being, that if you take your anger in a positive manner or negative manner. If you take it negatively, your muscles will do negative work, and if you take it positively, your muscle, all the elements, all the parts of your body will do positively. So, negative, though it can sometimes serve as inspirations for people to take action or overcome captain fears. Like, suppose that if we are taking part in a long jump or high jump, just I talk about myself that I used to run very fast when I was younger. I used to run 100 meters. 100 meters in 12 seconds. 100 meters in 12 seconds. But there was a boy, he was my class fellow. You used to run, I think, 10 or 11. 10 or 11 he used to run 100 meters.
In 10 seconds.
So,
In 10 seconds.
yes, in 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, so I got angry for that. I have to compete that. And I have to defeat him. I have to do that one. So there is also angry. There is also anger.
That is not anger, sir. Anger. That is your passion.
That is passion.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That's why I said anger and passions both are correlated. Both are correlated. That anger is a passion. But people always understand that anger means growth. Means that is a negative energy. That is not a negative energy. That is also positive energy. Positive energy. That is one kind of passion. So that is also important. So that time I got angry that why I cannot do that. What he is doing, I cannot do that. But whenever I tried sometimes, I used to lose my balance. And sometimes I fall down, just flat. But this is my record that I did 11. I did 11, but thereafter someone told me that now it is not possible. So by 11 I went there just because of my passion and just because of my anger. So that I can say that was my passion and that is positive anger. So anger is also positive.
That means that passion is positive types of anger.
Yeah.
Are you agree with this?
Yeah. Passion and anger. Passion and anger. There is
Both
one-
are flips of a single coin.
Yes, sir.
Both are flips of a single coin.
Yeah.
One is the merit part and second is demerit part.
Yes.
Yes.
Means just like a coin has two sides, positive and negative. Positive and negative, if you take it negative side, that is negative. If you take it positively, that is positive. So anger. Just I think you must have heard about a frog, a tadpole. When he was climbing a mountain, and when he was climbing a mountain, all the frogs, there was a crowd of tadpoles and frogs. And when that frog was climbing to the mountains, all started crying, "Oi, don't climb that! Don't climb that!" Because nobody has returned from there. Whoever has tried to climb that mountain means he has lost his life. He has lost his life. So he did not listen anything. And he kept climbing. And he climbed the mountain. And after returning, when he returned down, then all the frogs started asking, "How did you climb? Nobody dared climb this mountain. And how did you have passions to climb this mountain?" Then he replied, that when I started climbing this mountain and all tadpoles or the frogs started crying, then I thought myself that they were inspiring us. And I climbed that mountain. Because why? He climbed just because he was deaf.
He was
That
deaf.
frog was deaf. He did not listen what he was crying, but he knew that they are crying. But he was understanding himself that they are inspiring me, because sound was not coming. Only it was his knowledge that they are inspiring us. That's why he climbed that. So there was a passion also. There was also one anger of climbing. And next. Yes, behind anger, there might be some reasons are there. And some hopelessness. If you are hopelessness, and suppose that you have set a target and you are unable to achieve that target, that time you become hopeless. And being hopeless, you have anger. And that anger is very. If you talk about if you take that negative, you can harm your life too. And if you take it positive, you can achieve it. If you become hopeless for not achieving your target. And if you took it negatively, you can harm your life. But if you took it positively, you can achieve it. And second, that one is the fear. Second, that one is fear. And when you are afraid or frightened from something, this is also a cause of anger. And that anger, sometimes suppose I'm moving here, I'm moving through a dense forest, and unfortunately a tiger came in front of me. Then I was frightened. I was very much frightened what to do now. But I am just searching any clue that how to escape from that tiger. So how to escape from that tiger? So that time, the anger what comes inside us, that time we can fight with the tiger. Why? Just because of our anger. Because we have to escape from the tiger. And we pluck courage. We add courage and to kill the tiger. So that anger is very important. That turned into passion. That anger turned into passion to escape. And third, that is a depression. The depression, when you are in depression, that time also you have anger. And third one is a shame. And fourth one, that is jealousy and pain, and sometimes injustice. Injustice when something is done against you, means some injustice. If something is being done not in favor of you, that is injustice. And if injustice is done with you, then you have anger. And that anger is very harmful, but if you control your anger, so controlling anger is anger management. And that one is sadness, confusion, and humiliation, and anxiety or rejection or loneliness or stress. So there I explained about the anger and its type, that there are three types of anger which have to show how we react in a situation that makes us angry, and these are passive aggression. And first I want to discuss about the passive aggression. Passive anger. What is a passive anger? Suppose boss has told me to do this work, and I did not do it. I forgot it. But boss came and scolded me. Why did you do this work? Then I got angry. But only inwardly. I got angry, but I am not responding. This I am not showing my aggression or angriness. I am not showing to the boss. He is angry, I know it very well. But I am also angry. But it's not being shown. So passive is what? Passive is not shown. Assertive is shown. Only it is in our mind or in our heart. That is called a passive aggression, which is not shown. That is internally. You are not replying. Or one is open aggression. Open aggression means that can be seen. Suppose that you are scolding a child openly, and that people are looking with their own eyes that yes, he is chanting that way for not doing his homework. So that is a open. And next one is assertive anger. Assertive anger means that is like a passion or a constructive, which can, it means make your work success. Or negative effects of anger. Yes, negative effects of anger has also negative effects or also positive effects. So bodily system becomes a rigid and impure. Bodily system becomes rigid and impure. We damage or abuse others, broken relationship. If we take it negative, we break our relationship or we damage anything ourselves. Or holding on to anger is like the grasping a hot coil with the intent of throwing it at someone else. Means if you have negative angers, means you are unable to take decision that this is a burning coil or the quest of coil. This is not into your mind. This you lose your temperament and you forget everything. Or someone else, you are the one who gets burned Buddha, and positive effects that energize us to do something. If you have positive energy, it gives you energy to do something new, or enable us to assertive, help us to survive, or help us, or it is a way of communication, motivate us to take actions. Nobody makes you energy without your concern. Label. That label
Sir, I have a question. You are explaining the anger-free schools. So, sir, please tell me some tips how a very passionate teacher, very energetic teacher, young teacher have a angers full teacher in some points. So, tell them some tips so that they can control their angers towards the students in a classroom to run the class very smoothly.
Thank you very much, sir, for asking these very important questions, that how to make a classroom anger-free or a peaceful zone. So, dear sir, if you want to make our school anger-free or peace zone, then while teaching or in the class, we can add humor. We can add humor. It's like a funny things. Humor means what a funny things. So humor is very important. And if we teach any subject humorously, may say in a very funny manner, our students will be very interested to listen to your voice. And suppose by tricks, or like suppose that if you go on the board and you say that just I'm going to tell you a magic. I'm going to tell you a magic. All the students, they will be silent. They will be in a silent mode. Yes, sir. Sir is going to tell a magic or a jadoo. Yes, they will be silent. All the class will be, and you won't need to show their anger. They will be. And if you tell them one or two trick only, then they will be fascinated. They will be captivated, and your class will be fully in a silent mode. So you won't be having any problems while teaching. And second thing, that first one, that by adding humorous, we can make our school a very peaceful and anger-free. Because the students, they won't have time and they will be busy doing their work. And second thing, if one or two students are like that, they are very abusive or like retaliatory students, so we can choose or identify them and bring them forward as a monitor or subject monitors, so they can handle all the classes, and you won't have to struggle much to handle the classes, because they will look after all the students that who are committing mistakes or who are abusing or who is teasing or who is having problem to other students. So it will be very easy for you if you create your hands through the students. So a teacher cannot do everything. We need to create hands. And how to create hands? You can make your students in the absence of you, like your class monitors will be our teachers, and he can handle all the classes. Or anger free, sometimes in the class while teaching, take 2 minutes or 3 minutes like a moral speech. Give 2 minutes moral speech, or sometime yoga, exercise related things. Every day only a study would not be beneficial or the fruitful for the students. So sometimes you turn your topic. One day suppose I am teaching one lesson then 20 minutes you teach them lesson, and 20 minutes just you are spend yourself in the activities. So they will be busy and they will be more serious towards the lesson. If you focus on the study only for 20 minutes and 20 minutes in the activities, they will be very happy. Yes, we are doing both things, activities as well as academic studies. So like that we can make our class or the school anger free or the very peaceful zone. Sir, have you got any more questions?
Yes, sir. How can teachers contribute to make students anger free?
Once again, repeat again, sir. Yes, sir. You told me that how to change a school into anger-free zone. Anger-free zone, so we can impart the knowledge and the techniques to change themselves anger free. We can tell them to take exercise. So by exercise, if you tell them to take exercise and if the students take exercise, so while exercising, our mind is completely concentrated only at a place. Means while meditation or taking exercise, our mind is not deviated. Our mind is focusing only one point, not others. So like that, our mind is very peaceful and concentrated. So like that, we can make our school anger free. And is there any?
Yes, sir. One more question.
Yes.
Sir, you have just told me that anger free is a very importance for both students as well as the teacher. We can say for the schools, for the academic. So, sir, can you tell me some importance of anger free schools?
Yes. So there are several importance. There are several benefits of anger free schools. If our school, first and foremost, to make a school anger free, a teacher, first and foremost, he will have to be anger free. Means leaving all the depressions and the tensions, he will have to go into the classes. And leaving all the burdens of their homes, they will have to keep aside the burdens. And he has to focus only on the educations. And like that, if we don't have any depression or if we are not tensed, we can make the students laugh. We can make the students in a proper manner, and we can give the students a proper study. And like that, the students, they will be happy. All the students will be happy. But if we teach them in a proper manner, then they can get it properly. Otherwise, if we are not happy, how can we make them happy? So first, a teacher should be happy. Only then he can make the students happy. Or any other things is there?
Yes, sir. One more question. How do we convert schools into anger-free zones? How do we convert any schools into anger-free zones? What types of activity teachers must be do so it become a anger-free zone in a classroom?
Yes, sir, some activities are there like in the schools. Our government of India has also advised us to implement the physical education. Physical education and during even morning assembly and even like a period, it should be implemented. Like in the morning, if we get them exercised or the physical activities, if we get them done physical activities like that, students they will be physically active and also mentally active. So like that, we can make a school anger free. And second thing, we need to give them right study, and we need to give them the right study. What should be given to all the students according to the need. Like humorous things should be included in the studies. Like including these all things, we can make the school anger free. Or any other thing is there, sir?
Yes, sir. Some more questions are there. Sir, one more question. How can teachers contribute to a student's anger free?
How can teachers contribute?
Yes.
Students.
I think this question I have asked previously.
Yes, sir.
Question is, what lesson can we learn from anger? What lesson can we learn from the anger?
Anger. Yes, sir, from anger we can learn several angers. Just I have already discussed about anger. That anger, most of people they understand that anger is only the negative thing. But I think anger is also a positive thing. Positive things, and if we take it positively, and if we take it positively, it is a positive things, or if we take it negative, it is a negative things. And anger, in some cases, if we have set any target, and if we are doing for achieving that work, their anger is also very important. And if you don't have anger, you cannot achieve that. Or means if you are doing or if you are struggling for achieving anything, that anger turned into passion, and that anger is also can be called a passion. And sometimes anger when you are doing any negative things or you are harming something, so that is anger, or that is called intense anger. Anger has also categorized into 2-3 parts, just I have already discussed. First one is a mild anger. Yes, first one is that is a mild anger, and mild anger can be controlled. Mild anger can be controlled. And second one is that is intense anger. Intense anger that has a possibility to control. But third one is that is a very violent type anger that can harm. And that time, if you become violent, that time you lose your consciousness. And what you are doing, you are in the dark, and any work can be committed by you. So violence is a very dangerous, and we should always avoid from doing that. Any more questions, sir?
Yes, sir. One question is there. Is anger a mental illness? Is anger a mental illness?
Yes, sir. You made a question that anger is a mental illness. Then according to my view, I think that anger is not a mental illness. Anger is a symptom of mental health. If you don't have anger, or if you are unable to, if anger does not come inside you, means you are not healthy. And if anger comes, or you are able to commit anger, means you are mentally healthy, and it is a very important. And if you don't have anger, you cannot achieve anything, because that is not there inside you. That's why you cannot do that. So anger is the symptom of the mental health, and which is very important to achieve anything.
Sir, although you have explained various types of questions which I have asked you, sir, last one more questions I want to ask you, sir. How can teachers help aggressive students in a classroom?
Yes, sir. Of course, your question is very important. That how can a teacher
How can teacher help aggressive students
help aggressive students
in a classroom?
Yes. How can a teacher help aggressive students? That whenever a teacher or anybody asks any questions, or on a very trivial things, he gets aggression. So for that student, the first if he takes the aggressive mood, means you have to be very cool. And because he is the person who is showing aggression, but you are the perceiver. You have to perceive that, and you have to keep yourself calm. And first you have to listen to him. That what does he want to say you? First you listen to him. That what does he want? And if he wants that yes, I don't want to read, it doesn't matter. You tell them yes, you have not to read. You have not to read. But you have to tell them in a different manner. You can take out from the class, and first you make them sit for 2 minutes or 3 minutes alone, and make them understand about his future, about his destination, that about his goal. You ask him that, dear, if you are getting angry, and if you are showing aggression, so if you do like that, can you achieve your target? Can you move ahead in your life? Can you make your life? Can you be successful in your life? No. So in the class, first you learn how to respect the teachers as well as students, and how to show respect in the class towards all the students, towards all the teachers, principals, etc. And tell them that if you do so, you cannot achieve your target, and you cannot be a successful person in your life. So, and even tell them that yes, you are a very wise students, and you are very wise enough, and you are very intelligent. But one deficiency is inside you, that aggression. That aggression is not good. Just you have to make them understand that aggression is not good. Aggression is good, but on right time. Where aggression is needed, aggression is important. And because in the class, aggression is not needed. Here, politeness is needed. Here, resilience is needed. So first, be calm, and whatever you are being taught in the class, you have to perceive. You first and foremost, you have to listen to the teachers very carefully. Thereafter, you have to do the same work at your home. And you have nothing to do, because you are coming into the school only for one purpose, that is education. And you come only school to listen to the teachers, not to the others. So only you have to listen to the teachers, and you have to do the works what the teachers give you. Otherwise, except these things, you have not to do anything, and you don't do anything except these things in the class. No need to talk to any students. If you want to take help from the other students, it's other things. But in family, uselessly, you have not to talk to the other students. Only focus on only two things. First, your purpose is what? Of coming to a school? That you come to the school to listen to your teachers. And second what? Second, you come to the school to read the books, and where you are needed contributions through the teachers. So you have to, if you have any problems, you ask the teachers and solve your problems or nothing. So like that, we can help the students to reduce the aggression of the students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You answered all the questions from your core of a heart, and that all the explanations are useful for the teachers who are teaching in schools. Sir, you lead the session very well. You explained your topic, anger-free schools, in a very passionate manner. You told how teachers can control their angers in a classroom, how teachers make the students anger-free, how teachers make the classroom anger-free, so that students can grab the knowledge and students can take interest in coming to schools for acquiring knowledge. Thank you, sir. Thank you.